Am I late?
No, Muriel, you're right on time.
I had to see the administrator at the hospital about these cutbacks. It's a deplorable situation. I intend to make an issue of it at the next election.
I expect you will, Muriel.
Well, as mayor of this city, I would certainly make the province account for their actions. Robert, could I have 2 minutes during this meeting to bring everyone up to date on this issue?
Why don't you speak with John over there? He's lining up the program.
Oh, fine. Is Sylvia here?
Yes, here she is now.
Tell her I'll see her later.
I will.
He's in the pool hall.
How do you know?
I just talked to 2 of his so-called friends. Robert, they're terrible kids. They're such a bad influence on Graham. Do you think I should go to the pool hall and give him the good news?
Somehow, I don't think Graham would appreciate his mother coming to get him in a pool hall.
I suppose not, but it is important. He should be so pleased that he can go back to the private school this fall.
Tonight is soon enough, we can talk. Why don't you go and rescue Sandra from doting on John?
Okay, I'll do that.
Oh, hello, Sylvia. I'm so pleased you're here tonight, Sandra. I haven't seen you in a while.
Have you been busy?
No, not particularly.
Sandra, I was just wondering if you could give us a hand at the hospital auxiliary next week.
Oh, Sylvia, you know I don't like that sort of thing.
But you said you weren't busy.
It's just that I don't like puttering around with sick people and do-gooders.
It would help John, you know.
Isn't there something you could find me to do that would be a little less boring?
Well, I keep looking, Sandra, but it seems there isn't anything you find interesting. It's just for one day next week.
Sylvia, it's just that I don't like that auxiliary work.
But one of the girls is sick, Sandra.
All right, I will do it. If you promise me it'll be the last time.
Thank you, my dear.
All right.
Oh, it looks as if the meeting's about to begin. Perhaps we'd better sit down. Oh, by the way, Sandra, I think your brother wants to see you.
Oh, that's an idea. Thank you.
Well, that just about covers it, I think. Other all-candidate meetings will probably be called 3 weeks before the election, so we can leave things fairly open now.
Do you think we can line up all those coffee parties?
No problem at all. I've friends in all these neighborhoods, and I've done this before.
Yes. What about these council meetings? Will I have to try and speak at those?
Well, you can try, but I wouldn't overdo it. Even your presence will give the impression that you're very interested. And of course you attend a lot of these meetings anyway.
Oh, yes, they fascinate me.
Good. What about Roger?
Roger, my husband, he can't stand politics.
Will he mind you being out for the next couple of weeks each night?
Oh, heavens no. Right now we're into the World Series. When that's over, the hockey season will be well underway. No, I don't think Roger will mind my being out. I won't get in the way of his game watching then.
Would he help you during the campaign?
If there are no games on TV. Really, though, I don't think he wants to get involved.
Okay, then we won't count on Roger for anything. What about your kids?
My children? Well, Kathy is at Western, Ruth is at Queen's, and Roger Jr., of course, is playing for the Peterborough Petes. I don't think they'll want to get involved either. Why do you think I agreed to all of this?
Because your family doesn't need you anymore?
Exactly.
Well, now to policy.
Yes.
Kate, I want you to take a strong stand on every issue. Chernick will probably follow Burton by dodging every issue, and if there isn't a study that they can refer to, they'll promise to set one up.
Yes, I had noticed that.
I think the people are being cheated, and I think they're beginning to realize that. Everybody isn't going to like everything you have to say, but at least we can show them that you're willing to do something.
Oh, I don't know, Robert. I don't think I have something to say on every issue.
Kate, trust me, I'll tell you what to say.
I see. Okay, well, what about this Valleyfield Community Center thing? Everybody's going to want to know what we're going to do about the vandalism.
Right. Restrict the use to people who have a reason to be there and who have memberships. No more kids hanging around, no more vandalism.
Oh, I don't know. That seems too simple.
Kate, trust me.
Hello? Is Sylvia in?
Oh, hello, Kate.
Hello, Muriel.
Hello, Muriel.
Strategy meeting, I suppose. Don't worry, I won't give away any of your secrets. When are you going to put your tremendous force behind me, Robert?
when you start saying something that I can relate to.
Well, I know you don't like the mayor we have now.
He's not that bad. Besides, I promised myself a long time ago that I wouldn't let friendships mix with politics.
That's a silly attitude. Besides, you know I'll be very upset if you don't support me.
I've seen you upset before, Muriel. Do you want me to get Sylvia?
No, I'll do it.
No, it's all right. Kate and I were just leaving for a meeting with some supporters. I'll be right down.
He's tremendously powerful, isn't he?
That's for sure. Kate, don't let him maneuver you too much. You have to live with yourself, you know.
I know. But so far, I've liked everything he said.
Good. But be careful.
I will.
Right, Kate, let's go.
Goodbye, Kate.
Bye, Sylvia.
Oh, and Robert, if you see
Yes,
Graham...
dear. Good night.
Bye, Kate. Bye-bye, Robert.
I'm so glad you dropped over, Muriel. I was wondering if we'd ever get that talk you promised me last night.
Yes, but you left so early. Why did you leave so early?
It's a painful subject. Would you like a sherry?
Please.
I know it's those kids at the center, Muriel.
The center is a real problem.
You know, he always had problems in school. That's why we sent him to the private school.
Trouble is, Jerry tolerates too much.
When he first went to school, he did very well, you know. One of his teachers said he thought Graham was very gifted.
If Jerry put his foot down, the kids would respect him. Oh, is there any more sherry?
Oh, this bottle's almost empty.
Oh, don't bother then.
I think there's another. Oh, it's very dry, Muriel. Is that all right?
Lovely. I know the kids listen to him.
Yes, especially the young ones.
If he just made some rules.
That's something he would never tolerate.
What's that?
Rules. He doesn't like rules. He never has.
I know. That's the problem. If he made some rules and made them stick, the kids would respect him.
Who?
Jerry.
What about Jerry?
If he made some rules and made them stick, the kids would respect him.
I don't know, Muriel. Graham has never liked rules.
Don't you think he'd respect authority?
I don't know. You know, he was always respectful of me. Just until lately. Oh, it's those kids.
I think they need an authority figure.
If we could just get rid of those awful kids at the center, I'm sure things would improve.
Well, Jerry has to make them realize they have a responsibility.
Trouble is, I don't think he'd go for it.
Oh, I think he will, if we present it to him properly.
Maybe I should have a talk with him.
I'll have a talk with him, too.
Good.
Oh, do you know what time it is?
Oh, my goodness, and Graham isn't home yet.
I must be going.
He should be home soon.
I'll talk to Jerry next week.
I'll have a talk with him, too.
Good.
Muriel, are you all right?
I must be getting old when my few sherries go to my head. It's been nice talking to you, Sylvia.
Thank you. I'm glad you came over.
Don't worry, my dear. We'll get this mess cleared up next week.
Thank you, my dear. You are a good friend.
Well, Kate, it looks as though I've told you everything about the hospital situation. The only thing now is to keep hammering away at the provincial government.
Why do you keep bringing it up at council meetings, then?
Because I want the council to send a resolution to the province. It looks like the city is quite willing to accept this deplorable situation.
I see. I think I'm beginning to understand.
There is one thing I don't think you understand, and that's the problem with the Valleyfields Community Center.
Don't you think the kids are doing the damage?
Well, I'm sure it is the kids. But why do you think it's worse there than anywhere else?
More kids, I suppose.
No. If anything, there are fewer kids. Oh, we've got a few bad apples. But for the most part, the kids are good and cooperative.
But really, though, Muriel, I think if we got rid of the kids for a while, we'd get rid of the problem. What do other centers do?
Well, Valleyfields, of course, is very new, and a proper policy hasn't been enforced yet. Jerry Corbett has been a nice guy to the kids, and of course there are too few programs.
But we can't afford more programs. We're running over budget now.
Yes, I know, Kate, that's true. But on the other hand, I'm sure there's something we can do.
Another round.
Oh, no thanks, Mabel.
I'll
Kate,
bring
do
you
want
the
one?
bill.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Mabel.
I've talked to Robert about this community center thing, and I think I'm just going to stay with his ideas.
Before you do anything, talk to Jerry. He does have some ideas.
Oh, I don't know, Muriel. Everyone seems to have some sort of solution. I really don't understand these kids. Mine were never like this. Where's Mabel with our bill?
Oh, she's over there. Isn't she talking to Graham Richmond?
Poor Sylvia. He's quite a problem.
Graham, I want to talk to you.
Yeah? Well, first give me a beer and a hamburger, okay?
What happened the other night when you were here with your parents? You sure left in a hurry.
Here's your beer. Mabel, you got customers.
Your mom was upset, you know. All right, I'm going.
Is Mabel giving you a hard time?
Isn't everybody?
You're sure getting the reputation as a pretty tough nut.
Yeah? Well, I'm sick of being treated like a kid.
2 martinis straight up, 1 olive and 1 twist. Now, Graham, how can you do that to your mom?
It's easy.
You're going to break her heart.
Bull. She wasn't upset about me. She was more afraid of what the people around her would say.
Oh, really? She didn't strike me that way.
Yeah? You don't know my mom. She's more afraid of what her friends are going to say than what I do. She doesn't care about me. Neither does my old man.
That's a crummy thing to say. Your parents seem like nice people. Are you their only child?
Yeah. So what?
Maybe your mother is being overprotective, and you don't understand her motives.
I don't understand her or my old man, period.
That's too bad. You're missing a lot.
Oh, Mabel, just bring me my hamburger.
Okay, okay.
Hello, Muriel.
Sandra?
Did John ask you to come?
Not exactly. He asked my advice. Though I don't know what he thinks an old librarian, counselor, and candidate for mayor would know about marriage problems.
And what did you tell him?
I told him I'd talk to you and give it some thought.
Oh, Muriel. John and I have already talked all this out. I thought we had everything straight.
You've chosen a very bad time to become petulant.
Look, Muriel, I don't know what John has told you, but I had some very good reasons for leaving him. I'm sorry about the timing, but I have promised that I won't create any problems.
Well, I think that's what's bothering him. He seems to think that you're going to hop into bed with the first man who comes along.
He has such great faith in me, doesn't he?
Have you?
Have I what?
Have you been to bed with someone?
I don't think that's any of your business.
Well, it isn't. But I don't like to see scandal upsetting the election results.
Is it important if I don't flaunt it?
You are, aren't you?
Hello. Hi. Yes, I did too. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Well, don't let him bowl you over, okay? All right. I'll see you later. Bye.
You are having an affair.
I promise that I'll be very discreet.
But will he?
Muriel, neither one of us wants John or anyone else to find out.
Is that why you left John?
No. I hardly knew him then.
Sandra, it isn't Joe Chernick.
You have very sharp ears, don't you, Muriel?
But that would be dreadful.
Look, we know what we're doing, okay? When I left John, I was pretty far down. I'd lost all my self-confidence, and I think that most people will agree that I was a pretty miserable person. Joe has made me feel human again. Sorry that it had to be him now, but that's life.
Do you hate John that much?
Oh, no, I don't hate him at all. In fact, I almost went back to him. Maybe in time I will do, but not until we've solved those problems.
Well, do be careful, Sandra, please.
I will.
Goodbye. And good luck. John, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Who told you I was here?
No one. I guessed. John, you do have a problem with Sandra.
Thanks for the big news flash.
Look, she still cares for you. Go and see her. Patch things up. Promise her anything, only get her back.
Do you think she'll do something stupid?
Well, not intentionally. But she doesn't seem to realize that she can't go on much further without doing you harm.
Going on? Who is it she's going on with?
Now, John, I'm not going to be a spy for you. Let's just say that if she hasn't got a lover already, she soon will have.
Shit, I knew it.
Go and see her.
Okay. Thanks, Muriel.
Bye, John.
Why don't you sit down?
I'm all right.
Why don't you sit down at that table? You're gonna fall down pretty soon.
I want to talk. Don't you talk to your customers anymore?
Sometimes. What's your beef?
No beef. What's the political climate around here?
You mean municipal? Oh, hell. I don't know. Nobody talks about it much.
Do you know who I am?
Oh, sure. You're John Burton.
What about Cherney?
What about him?
Do people like him?
I don't know.
One more draft and a screwdriver.
What do people think of Joe Chernick?
Mostly they think he's another politician.
What about this woman, Kate Baxter?
Oh, she's a nice person.
Oh, no. Oh, sorry. What are you doing here, John?
Doing some research,
For Joe?
maybe.
Let's go and sit down at the table. Come on.
What's it be, Muriel? The usual?
Would you take it over there to my friends, please?
Do you want another one? I'm here.
Yes, please.
No, he doesn't. He's had enough. Have you seen Sandra?
Yeah. I saw him, too.
With her?
Yes. You know who it is, don't you?
Yes.
He's through, Muriel.
What are you going to do about it?
I'm going to expose him for that two-faced bastard he is.
You're not going to bring a scandal out.
Of course I am. He can't hurt me. I'm the injured party.
I don't think that would be wise, John.
Oh, yes, Muriel the Pure. You can't stand people being elected or defeated by personal scandal.
I don't think it's fair politics.
Fair politics? I don't care if it's fair politics. What's in it for me?
What about hurting Sandra?
Oh, all of a sudden I'm supposed to feel sorry for Sandra. Tell Muriel, she's tried everything in her power to ruin me.
John, there have been rumors.
There's going to be a lot more rumors.
Sandra's been sporting some pretty awful black eyes this past year. Nobody said anything. But if you make an issue of how you've been misused, I'm sure it'll come out.
Shit, yeah, I guess you're right.
The less said about this thing, the better.
I still love her, Muriel.
And she loves you, John. Don't do anything that you're going to regret later.
Joe's gonna start making grand statements. With any luck, he'll screw himself all by himself.
And Joe just may surprise you. Now look, go home and get some rest. I have to see some friends. And do be careful. Sylvia, did I wake you up?
No, I was just lying here thinking.
You all right, Sylvia? You sound funny.
I'm all right. Everything's fine now. I won't have to face them.
Would you like me to come over? Robert thought you might like some company.
No, I'm all right. I don't want to embarrass you. Nobody will want to talk to me now. It's all right.
It's not all right, Sylvia. I'm coming right over. Sylvia, don't do anything. I'm coming over. Sylvia? Sylvia, answer me. Godfather, Sylvia, what have you done?
Sylvia?
Oh,
Oh, Muriel.
Robert.
Is Sylvia sleeping?
She's in the intensive care unit at the hospital.
What? Is she all right? I mean, what happened?
She took half a bottle of rye and a bottle of sleeping pills.
Is she going to be all right?
Well, she's not dead, but I wouldn't say she was all right.
I guess I better get over and see her.
That doesn't sound awfully sincere.
I was afraid she was going to do something like this.
Well, in heaven's name, why did you leave her?
I called you.
You couldn't have missed your little meeting, I suppose, and stayed with her yourself.
It was an important meeting. I decided to help Kate. We were setting up some last-minute business with our supporters.
Robert, Sylvia nearly died. She's a very distressed woman, and she needed you.
She knows how I feel about the whole mess. She was afraid of what people would think. And what could I do to change that?
You were just as afraid, weren't you? Only instead of hiding, you decided to show you weren't affected.
Well, why not? Everybody was watching me tonight, waiting for me to change or crack up or something. Well, I showed them tonight that I have a public conscience and that I'm not going to let my private disappointments interfere with my public duty.
Your public duty? You listen to me, Robert. That's been the problem in this house from the very beginning. You and your public duty. Sylvia and her public duty. Damn it, Robert, what about your private responsibilities? What about your family? Your wife and your son? Don't they matter?
Look, Muriel.
Oh, no, Robert. I'm not going to sit here and listen to one of your speeches on what you've done for the community. I know all that. Do you know what I really think? I think you use your public responsibility to avoid becoming involved with your family. It's so much easier to relate to crowds, isn't it? Relating to a young boy is much too hard. So you handed him to Sylvia. Only Sylvia had the same problem. She's a doer of great deeds. And listening to the hopes and fears of a young boy was much too hard. Well, you've paid your price. Now you haven't got a family. Maybe that's the way you want it.
The world needs people like Sylvia and me.
Maybe.
Look, I can't change. I've been like this all my life. Admit that I'm a failure as a father? Okay, I failed. Perhaps I let Sylvia down too. All right, I did that. But what can I do now? I only can continue. I can't change. I can't start over again.
You could try relating to both Graham and Sylvia.
I've tried, but it's just not in me. Leave me with my law practice and my politics. In this, I'm a success.
And your family?
Seems that I've already lost them anyway. When Sylvia gets over Graham, she'll be all right. Graham, I don't know.
Would you seek some professional help?
I suppose, but look, Muriel, I love Sylvia. All we need is a little time to get things sorted out. A little more time to get things together.
If it doesn't interfere with your public duty.
Well, I'm not going to give up the only part of my life that I haven't already messed up.
You know, sometimes I wonder if a career in politics is worth it. Look at John Burton. He can't see past the crowds to find his wife. He's like you.
John's young.
Well, maybe there's hope for him.
Look, Muriel, thanks very much for your help. But I really think I should get over to the hospital and see if there's anything I can do. Have they found Graham yet?
I haven't heard. Goodbye, Robert.
Goodbye. 5 minutes before the polls close. Any last voters call?
I don't think so. We got most of our people to the polls before 7.
George took someone about half an hour ago, but that was the last. I checked the list. I'm sure we've got everyone.
Now comes the worst part. There's nothing left to do but wait for the polls to be counted.
The cable there fixed? Something's wrong.
Is the bar ready for all?
Ready and waiting. Great.
I asked Joe to stop by before he went on to his own party.
You are generous.
Well, it's all over now. There's no sense in continuing the fight.
I suppose not. Here comes Sandra now.
Sandra, Joe, so nice of you to make it.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, actually, we wanted to thank you, Kate, for playing down the personal problems.
Oh, it was purely selfish. I want to win this election, Joe, because the voters like me, not because they felt they morally couldn't vote for you.
Do you think people really care that much?
Sometimes I wonder if they care about anything.
That is for sure. Has anybody heard what the turnout is?
If we're lucky, we may get 30%.
I never can understand that. I mean, how can people care so little about how their money's spent?
It's not really that they don't care, it's that they feel helpless. I mean, really, does it matter who wins?
Well, of course it matters.
Take this ward. When this election first started, I thought the voters had a good choice. I thought Kate was good, and Chernick I thought was just another mouth flapping in the hot air. Now I'm not so sure.
You mean we've changed your mind?
Well, let me say that I think the residents of Ward 10 will be well represented, which either of you win.
Well, thank you, Robert. I appreciate you saying that.
But don't forget that I won't let you make a crummy job of it. You didn't tell me that Muriel was coming over.
I didn't know.
Hi. I just came over to congratulate you on a job well done.
Oh, thank you, Muriel.
The bar is open.
Excuse us.
Oh, hi, Joe. I didn't expect to see you here.
Well, actually, we'll be leaving pretty soon, but I came over to thank Kate for playing so fair.
Yes, you were very lucky, Joe. Rumors are flying, but I don't think you'll get hurt too much.
Poor John, though. I understand he's having a rough time of it.
Yes, he is. Last time I saw him didn't sound too good at all.
What about you, Muriel?
I'm very optimistic.
You always are, Muriel.
Well, it won't be long before we're calling you Your Honor the Man.
I hope so. It's been a long campaign. Excuse me, I have to talk to Robert.
I'll get us a drink.
Well, Sandra, what now?
Oh, I don't know, Jerry. Do I have to make rash decisions?
No, I don't think so.
Hey, I see you've got company here tonight.
Oh, yes, that's Lisa. As you know, I've been going around with her for quite a while.
That's nice. I like her.
Good, because you don't normally like the girls that I go out with.
Well, very often, you know, they're rather mindless little creatures.
I suppose they have been, but Lisa's different. Why don't you come over sometime and, well, let's put it this way, why don't you come over with, you know, whoever you're with at the time?
All right, I will. I'll give you a call, okay?
Okay, great.
Phone call for Mr. Burton. Oh, may I use your office?
Sure, go ahead.
I saw Sylvia last night.
She said, I saw her this afternoon.
She doesn't look as if she's doing too well, does she?
No, I'm afraid she doesn't really know about anything that's gone off in the last month.
What are you going to do, Robert?
Well, Dr. Martin decided that she needs intensive care, and it means a psychiatric ward, possibly a psychiatric hospital.
I really didn't think things would be as drastic as that.
You and me both. But I think in a couple of months when she's feeling better, and it could probably be a good thing because she'll miss Graham's trial.
That doesn't sound too good either, does it?
No, the defense counsel are now looking for a psychiatric examination.
But that could be a good thing.
Yeah, and I think the whole of my family will finish in the mental hospital.
And it won't change you at all, will it, Robert?
Well, not on the outside, Muriel. I mean, they are not to them. I mean, I can't change that. It's all that I've got left.
I am sorry.
Don't be. I hope I'm going to join the victory celebration.
Of course you are. See you later.